Bryant and Custom Comfort Systems, doing whatever it takes to keep you comfortable. Everywhere with breaking news and Northeast Ohio's most important stories. 19 News Everywhere at 5 starts now with a first alert for severe weather.
It's a Friday, and yes, it's another first alert weather day. And from the east side to the west, we're keeping an eye out for heavy rain and the potential for storms. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Tiffany Tucker.
And I'm Chris Fry, Cleveland's most accurate weather team, tracking the rain pattern and keeping an eye out for those pop-up storms.
Let's get right to meteorologist Erica Page for a look at what's on the radar right now, Erica.
Yeah, so really we're keeping an eye on any pop-up showers, maybe a couple storms that could develop here over the next couple of hours. But the main threat, if we're going to see it unfold, will actually be as we head into the overnight tonight. So just keep that in mind. Somewhat similar to last night, the main concerns will be with some of the very heavy rainfall. So if you're out and about driving because you have late Friday evening plans, do watch for some ponding that may be possible on the roads. But in terms of severe weather, the damaging wind threat, the large hail threat, those would be my two primary concerns, and a very low and isolated risk that we could see a tornado. That is not my greatest concern, but it is certainly not zero as we head into the overnight tonight. What we're watching here locally actually is relatively quiet. We've got one isolated cell that's trying to get going. We'll see how well it continues to materialize, but it's really this activity that you see out towards St. Louis, where we have several severe thunderstorm warnings, couple tornado warnings down there. That's the cluster of storms that we're going to keep a very close eye on over the next couple of hours, because as we get closer to sunset, and that continues to make its way into Indiana, that is going to give us a very good clue as to how well it may hold together into our area then as we head into the overnight hours. Right now, though, the biggest activity that we're seeing here locally, it's actually out towards the Youngstown area, where you're seeing a little bit more of this robust development of this shower. No lightning detected in it just yet, but we'll certainly see if we can see that line unzip farther to the west, because that could potentially give some of our area a slightly better opportunity of catching some rain as we progress through the rest of this evening. But if you're stepping out right now, for the most part, it's a relatively dry and quiet night. Temperatures are currently checking in upper 70s to about lower 80s. So it is warm, it is humid, and that will likely be some fuel for some of those showers and storms to develop as we get into the later part of this evening. So please just keep a close eye on the forecast. We'll walk you through all the new hour-by-hour data coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks a lot, and be sure to download the 19 First Alert Weather app to keep an eye on any heavy rain or perhaps storms headed our way. Scan the QR code on your screen, and once the weather hits your area, you'll get the first alert and be able to track live radar right in the palm of your hand. And this morning, storms leaving behind storm damage in Amherst.
Unfortunately, it knocked out power to fewer than a dozen homes, but it did major damage to a giant tree that blocked traffic for hours on Middle Ridge Road.
Harry Boomer is live from that location tonight. And Harry, you spoke with homeowners about this early morning storm. Were they impacted? Well, what happened to Donnell White Jr.? The teen vanished from Ashtabula more than 3 decades ago. Part 2 of this Seeking Justice report is next.
And we're tracking down Northeast Ohio's most wanted. We're back with another look at this week's third fugitive.
Well, what happened to Donnell White Jr.? The 14-year-old boy vanished from Ashtabula more than 30 years ago.
We first brought you his story earlier this afternoon at 3.
U.S. Marshals and local police teaming up to solve this case. Could someone who knew Donnell be behind his disappearance?
Investigator Sarah Goldenberg takes us inside the case in part 2 of this week's Seeking Justice.
Okay, Erica, straight ahead at 6, we're checking out damage from this morning's storms as we keep an eye out for the potential of severe weather tonight. Plus, a semi-truck driver convicted of misdemeanor charges in a deadly crash that killed 6 Tuskegee Valley students and their chaperones. So, what comes next for Jacob McDonald, and why the families are not thrilled with the simple misdemeanor conviction? Plus,
new at 6, 15 years of memories gone in merely minutes. I'll let you know how you can help this local family coming up.
Tiffany and I are right back. We've got those stories, plus a preview of the Stadium Showdown. That's straight ahead at 6.
Closed captioning on 19 News, sponsored by Wayside in Akron. keeping it local since 1937.